All right, so I'm going to recap a little bit of, some of the items that we covered. Using conditional automations to trigger automations for the appropriate groups, right? If an email is designated for a corporate group, like your corporate tax returns, then use that specific tag to tailor that email. If they are specifically for your individual tax returns, a specific email needs to be tailored to them. Use the right tag so they can receive it. Tags are just going to be really, really important in case you want to tailor some of these items um, per group, right? You can have as many groups of clients as possible, and the tailoring of those is up to you and your business. All right, so to use conditional automations, your clients need to have tags applied to them, right? That's really, really important to do. We set up custom job statuses to highlight blockers, especially if they're going on extension or missing information or whatever your firm might think is ideal to have. You can tailor that, highly, highly tailorable. You can add automations to custom job statuses, which trigger the status change, right? So it's kind of like a sub pipeline inside of a pipeline when you create triggers inside of a job status. So if the job status says, hey, once the client gives me a document that I need, change the status to active. So that's really neat to see. It's a relatively new feature and I really, really love it. Hopefully you can find some use for it. All right, so I want to kind of recap our whole session today. There was a lot of things that we covered. Hopefully, if you get a chance to if you're watching this live, you'll get a link to the recording. Come back to it, rewind it, look at some of the actions that were made, look at some of the additional trainings that we have if you've already kind of mastered the very basics. We'll keep having more training sessions to go more into depth with this in the future, although there is already a lot of webinars that will give you a lot of detail of going more advanced, right, in the features that we covered. So really today we reviewed the core functions of the settings, and now is the time to really start thinking about your process. Consider like the following questions. What will my stages look like? Will they have different titles or actions? Is your team following the process similar to the template, or are you going to tailor it? How do you want your proposals, emails, and client messages to appear? You'd have to modify those under the template sections. What tasks does your team need to complete in each stage? Can I add instructions to them so they don't forget, right? Or is the title enough for them to understand what they need to do? All of these things are something that you need to think about while you build out your pipeline. This webinar really serves as a great starting point to keep working on your workflow. You can use all of like the mentioned before self-led trainings in Taxdome Academy and look at some of the other webinars to get more in-depth ideas of how to manage and complete not only a tax return pipeline, but various other services that you may potentially be offering your clients. As a reminder, we have a lot of resources aside from the Academy, right? Again, if you have questions, you can go to the Taxdome community and ask questions that are burning questions for you at this point. And also, if you would like that one-on-one training after you've gone through this and need a little bit more help, you can purchase them through the portal, and you are eligible for a discount if you happen to complete this course. So make sure that you take the quizzes or that you actually do go through all of these webinars so you get that completion certification. For now, I will leave today's session. Hopefully, I was able to help you and understand everything that has to do with the basics of automation. Although there is much more to explore and to understand, I hope that the basics were set up for you and the information was presented for a better understanding. Good luck to you, and thank you so much for joining today's session. Thank you very much, and welcome again to TaxStone.